Hi everybody, this is Hirsch. Welcome to TalkHotRods.com. We are here at our title sponsor, Hahn and Woodward, in Harmony, Pennsylvania. Automotive restoration, really cool restoration. But they have some other products that they've used, not only on a lot of vehicles, but here at the shop. And Bill's going to tell us about this spot I made. Tell us, Bill.
This is a new spot. This is an old spot. They're both grease spots. This one we just discovered today when we moved the car out of the way. But this one here is about 2 weeks old. Easy. And we found this product. It's a concrete cleaner. And all the other concrete cleaners I've ever tried, none of them worked. None of them, you know? This stuff, I got a small bottle of it, tried it out. This old spot here was originally down to about here. It came all the way down around this way. And we poured this on, left it soak for a day. The next day we came, hit it with some soapy water and a brush, and hosed it away. As you can see, it doesn't look like it was ever there. This concrete's probably never been cleaner. So, to show you folks, we're going to pour some on each of these spots, and we're going to come back. You need to let it soak in for at least 1 hour, but it doesn't hurt if you leave it soak in later, and you do not have to re-wet it. You pour it on once and walk away.
So, Bill, we'll come back in an hour. We'll see what happened. And there's more that we're going to show you, too, about some services that are available here at Hahn and Woodward, too. That's coming up.
That's coming up. Thank you.
Okay, we told you about some other services available here at Hahn and Woodward. We're going to go back in just a few minutes to have you take a look at how well that cleaner on the concrete works. But now, Bill, tell us about it. This is really an interesting, state-of-the-art, and important product.
It is. Yeah, it is state of the art. These parts are from a Model T, and one of the problems that the shop that was attempting to repair these parts was having was every time they'd weld the metal, it would crack because it's so old. It's stress hardened. It's also been work hardened, and what we can do, we metallize it, and when we metallize stuff, we can use different kinds of metals. For the most part, we use silicon bronze, which is also a popular wire material for MIG welding. We also use that for MIG welding. One of the things we like about it is that it's malleable. But in this instance, okay, and for one of our help to do-it-yourselfer services, like on these pieces, we have new pieces down here that will go right in here. So that makes that an easy repair there. But towards the end of the fenders, that needs to be blasted, sandblasted, and metallized. And we have an example here. This end has been blasted with the Black Magnum or Black Beauty. It's very aggressive, but that's what you need, is something aggressive. And these pieces have been metallized. You can see,
and Bill, the metallizing is adding metal.
Yes, it's
to the piece you're working on, which, because of age, because of working, because of all those other situations, has gotten thin now.
Yeah.
And this is the only way to do it. You can't use putty. You can't.
No.
Right. So
it
has a solid piece of
to
metal,
be metal,
as it was from the beginning.
It has to be metal. That's the biggest problem people have, the mistaken idea that folks have about body filler. You know, first of all, they call it putty, which is a misnomer. Second of all, it has a bad reputation because people try to replace metal with it.
It's not for that.
It's not for that. It's for leveling wavy metal out, but it does not replace metal. There is no replacement for metal except metal. And this is what it after it's been metallized. It's real rough like this.
I won't be surprised to see you guys building hot rods with that surface on it untouched. A whole body done in that bronze. How cool is that?
There's somebody with a motorcycle that has that sort of an idea that one of these days he's threatening to show up.
Cool.
After you metallize it, you go over it with a grinder just to shape it, and then it's ready for your epoxy primer.
That's a good shot to show the folks. That would have most likely had been early days lead. After that putty, now this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because lead was the ultimate, Bill, right?
Yeah,
Except it was lead.
Yeah, and lead was very toxic. They have healthier leads to use nowadays, that aren't as bad for you as it used to be.
This is the way
but
to go.
The problem with lead is first you got to flux it with an acid. Right. And then you use a paddle to smooth it out, and the paddle is dipped in either oil or wax. So you're introducing all these contaminants onto your bare metal that you had better get every bit of it off, because if and when you don't, it will push up the paint and you'll have some kind of imperfections, whether it be bubbles or solvent popping or something, is going to push the paint away. And oftentimes, if you look at an older car that hasn't been done yet, and you look for the lead seams, and you'll see little bubbles in it, or maybe even big bubbles. And that lead was put on by a factory worker who did nothing but lead every day of the week. Okay? And lead is something that you really do need to do often to get it right. If these guys who did it every day have bubbles coming back, now granted 40 years later, but you could have gone back 30 years and you would have seen 10 years after the fact bubbles coming out. This won't bubble because you don't have those contaminants. There's no acid involved. There's no wax or oil or flux of any kind involved.
It's metal.
Yeah, it's metal and nothing else. Yeah.
So if you have a project, you need your panels perfect, Hahn and Woodward.
Yeah, and here's one. It's been the trunk lid. It's been done on both sides.
Very common, those edges of trunk lids and deck lids and even door panels.
And if we have time, Hirsch, I'd like to maybe show a panel being done.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, we're back here doing the metallizing. This is Mike Pintel. He's one of our guys here at Hahn and Woodward. And the piece that we have here is this Model T cowl. And down in all across the top of this cowl, there's holes and cracks. The metal is just so thin, it can't be worked anymore. It's cracking from being welded. We're going to metallize all this with silicon bronze. Mike's suiting up. When you use this, it's the same as being around molten metal. So you got to be suited up. You got to have fresh, clean air. That's the yellow hose. It's going through a filter and giving Mike some nice, fresh, clean air to breathe. This over here is the metallizing machine. You may have already seen that. Ready, Mike? Have at it.
Hey, Bill, how much would a machine like that cost?
They're about $13,000.
Oh, boy.
Well, this is the process. It's not completed yet, but as you can see, these holes, they're a little more visible now, but although they're more visible, they're actually smaller than when we began. And as we continue with this metallizing process, those holes will be completely closed up and we'll metallize it on both sides.
And this is another product that, this is a process available at Hahn and Woodward.
Yes.
Send us your parts.
Send us your parts. We can take care of them for you. We'll fix your parts.
Well, hi everybody. We're back now where we were before with our segment on the stains. You could see that both stains have had a little bit of time to have the product sink in, if you will, and we're ready now to take it to the next step. So, Bill, carry on.
No, you need to leave this soak in for at least an hour, and I don't know exactly how long it's been, guys. But we're gonna go to the next step, which is to just use your usual cleaner, whether it be simple green or whatever you might have around. I'm going to try a couple different ones here. This one here is engine degreaser.
So now we have a rare sighting of Bill Hahn with a broom in his hand. But look at that. If you recall how deep the stains were in both of these locations, even though we didn't have a chance to let it set for quite as long as we normally would like, it's doing a nice job of picking up those stains.
Yeah, even I'll tell you what, even this one up here that was already at least 2 weeks old, you can see where up towards the edge where I didn't get the cleaner. You can see the difference between the edge and down here where I had the cleaner at, which even though it's wet, it closely approximates this other larger area that I had previously done. And I don't know, the fresher spot was somewhere around here.
Yeah, I mean it looks
like
pretty
right
gone, pretty gone. So I think it's pretty good.
It's Bill Hahn's special concrete cleaner.